Alrighty, happy Wednesday. It is September 4th. We're taking a look at the index here. So we are coming into today's session following a big trend day lower, a big technical breakdown of that intermediate term range that we had in the S&P. That's going to be SPY, SPX, and ES. I currently have SPY on the screen because I wanted to highlight the fact that today was a compression session, more of a neutral session, more of a range-bound session, which tends to be the norm following a big trend day move, right? Anytime you have that big trend day move, probability does favor a slower session. It does favor a little bit of compression, right? Typically that manifests in one of several ways, but one of them being an inside day, meaning the entirety of today's daily bar is within the prior day's range. It's within that prior day's bar. So we see that big trend day move there yesterday, and then today you have that inside day. So it makes the approach for tomorrow quite easy. Essentially what we want to be doing for tomorrow is watching how price trades versus the end points of that inside day. That's going to be today's low, the regular trading hours low, and then today's high, the regular trading hours high. So pretty much a neutral session. What you can also see here on SPY, and I'll jump over to ES in just a second, but here was your breakdown point, right? Today's bounce versus the prior day's low, which was our main watch for today, bounces right into that prior breakdown point and then rejects. Price rolls over. Now we're just kind of oscillating here near that 551, 550 area. Now remember, a key piece of the structure here is this gap down below. Buyers are going to be really interested in continuing to defend this gap. They want to see this area, this low from Thursday, August 15th, holding as support. So this low right through here, let's jump back to ES. And let me get the regular trading hours chart on the hourly here. And we'll see that low right through here. So essentially today's low lines up quite nicely, plus or minus about 1 or 2 points there. Lines up quite nicely with the prior day low. And then we have that big unfilled gap beneath that. So we want to see if buyers are going to be able to continue to defend this kind of near-term low here or not, right? Taking a look at our regular trading hours chart, we have a structure that shows, the big breakdown up through here, 55.85 or even the 55.65 area, depending on how you want to define that prior range, a retest of the breakdown point, and then just continued selling. So the structure continues to show that series of lower highs, right? This is one of the things I had mentioned in today's live stream. Just because we were seeing that bounce this morning does not mean that buyers are out of the woods by any means. We're still within the context of a bigger picture breakdown. Now, if buyers can continue to defend this near-term low right through here, 55.17 area, that would be significant, right? That would be a significant development. We can see price trade up through 55.40, maybe even retest the 55.65, and then potentially get back into this range. But as of right now, sellers remain in control of this structure, and what they're going to be looking to do is flush price through today's low to fill that gap, right? They're looking for that gap fill trade down into 54.85. So near-term structure, intermediate-term structure definitely says stay nimble, right? Make sure you're trading with great location, and especially if you are looking for long setups, pay attention to what that current structure shows. That's going to be critical. So for tomorrow, main watch is going to be today's low, that 55.15 area. What's that true low right through here? Yeah, 55.15 main watch for tomorrow on ES. Taking a look at NQ, fairly similar setup, right? We noted this morning in the live stream that S&P had that relative strength. It was holding above that prior day low. NQ opened beneath that prior day low. It did trade up into and through that prior day low. But that was definitely a notable aspect of essentially the divergence that we saw between ES and NQ this morning. Price beneath the prior day low on NQ, ES holding above the prior day low. So that is an easy way to establish which one is stronger for the session. ES showing that relative strength for today, as it has been for the past few weeks, right? Seeing a lot more strength in ES, and that was also observed off the open, and even later in the session, we saw that initial push on ES, NQ kind of faltering, but NQ made a fresh session low at that 10 a.m. data print, while ES did not. So these little clues can kind of help you focus on one index or the other, depending on what you're looking to trade and what exactly you want to be doing. Now, as far as the near-term structure and kind of that intermediate term structure here on NQ, still within that downtrend, right? Been in a downtrend ever since Thursday, August 22nd, near-term downtrend, and then you have the intermediate term range. Essentially, what I'm considering the range was this right through here. We have that breakdown yesterday, right? You have the big gap fill. Note the unfilled gap right through here. Again, there's a regular trading hours chart, the hourly chart. Another gap that is unfilled right down here. Price holding that low as support this morning. You get the bounce and then potentially a lower high here. So for today, the focus is going to be the same. Looking at how price responds to that 18,900 area or that 19K level. We do see the weekly volume point of control developing there right at 19K. And so depending on how price trades versus 19K, it'll give us some good clues about whether or not this volume point of control is accumulation, right? Which would suggest higher prices, or more redistribution, getting ready for that next leg lower. Now, no change in character here on NQ until you start to see some trading up through today's high. That's going to be that most significant structural point in the near term, right? So remember, when we're talking about market structure, we're looking at pivots. Where is price rolling over? Where is price turning? Right through there. That's about it. That is about it for the index. I do quickly want to look at QQQ daily. And not as clean of an inside day as SPY. SPY much cleaner. QQQ. Still that compression session, but not truly holding that prior day low. So as far as this structure, right, definitely still quite bearish. If we take a look at how price is retracing versus that recent rally, it's right near that 38% area, coming into that 50% area as well. So I typically just use those as reference points, right? Speaking of which, if we take a look at the bounce for today on NQ, I think it was up into the that 30% area. Let's double check that really quick. So going from the prior day high into today's low, yeah, just shy of that 38% retracement. So partial retracement of yesterday's sell-off. Now we're kind of back into the structure from today. So 18,900 and 19K will be the two main reference points for tomorrow's session. Two main levels of interest for tomorrow's session, depending on where we are poised to open and how active that overnight session is. We do have a couple of data prints for tomorrow to be watching for as well. I'll be talking more about those during tomorrow morning's live stream. Hope you guys had a great session. We did have some pretty good action for today. If you have questions about anything, feel free to shoot me a DM. Otherwise, I'll